Hey guys, Cody Barton here. Welcome to my channel, and I want to share with you one of the most important things to do if you want to make more money per deal in your real estate investing business. And you might have already seen one of the videos that I did on the topic of make more money per deal, and that had to do with wholesaling your real estate deal over to yourself to do that as a fix and flip. Now, obviously, you're going to be taking that property down to fix and flip it. What I want to share with you in this video specifically is how to not buy the deal yourself, but how to wholesale it to somebody else and make more money than you could any other way. So the biggest thing that you have to realize is there's not, some ninja strategy behind how to make, more money per deal. It really comes down to who is going to be buying the deal. That's going to be the determining factor of how much money that you're going to make on your specific deal. So I want to spend this time and kind of educate you a little bit more on who the buyers are that are likely to pay the least amount of money, and then the buyers that are likely to pay the most amount of money. The buyer that's probably going to pay the least amount of money, but it's probably going to be really easy for you to work with, is going to be the buyer that they have a large organization, they have a large staff, so they have a lot of payroll and expenses that they have to take into account when they're looking and underwriting each deal that they're going to fix and flip. And so typically they're also going to be paying for either private money or hard money on the deals that they're buying. And this is that buyer that's doing 5, 10, 15 fix and flips a month. So they're doing a lot of volume. So they typically are going to need to buy their deals a little bit deeper because they have a little bit more overhead. So something to keep in mind. They usually are really great to work with and really easy to sell deals to, but that's just something that, it's the pay to play, right? You got to pay to have a, very easy transaction with some of those individuals. But it's not always the case, but typically that's what you're going to see. The next type of buyer that you're going to encounter is going to be that, standard fix and flipper that they don't have a whole huge operation, but it's usually them, and they have, a small crew that they're doing, 2, 3, 4 fix and flips at a time. So they're not doing mass scale, but they're doing a decent amount of fix and flips at a time that they can pay a little bit more because they're doing a little bit less deals and their overhead's usually a little bit less. But like that first buyer, they're typically paying either hard money or private money that they're having to fund those deals with. So again, they do need to buy them for a good enough deal for them to obviously still make a profit. And now the next type of buyer is going to be that hedge fund type buyer. The hedge funds, they pay always more than those first two individuals. There's usually very little cases that the hedge fund's going to pay less. But one of the challenges that you're going to deal with hedge funds are their buy box is a little bit more strict. They only want to buy a certain year build or newer home. They only want to buy, say, like 3-bed, 2 baths, or whatever their given criteria is. They're a lot more strict on the criteria of properties that they'll buy. And sometimes they'll fuss with you about the amount that you might be making on your assignment fee. So there's a few more hurdles that you have to go through when dealing with the hedge funds. But if you have some good hedge fund buyers, they can do amazing things for you and help you be able to sell your deals for the most amount of money than you could any other way. So they are a great option for you. And again, it's hedge fund money, so they'll pay more than those first couple buyers that I recommended. So one of those buyers that does pay typically more than even sometimes the hedge funds are going to be the part-timers. These are the people that they're typically working a standard W-2 job, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and they buy 1 to 2 houses or 1 to 2 properties that they're going to fix and flip a year. They're usually like 1 a year or maybe 2 deals a year. They're usually not doing that many flips. They just treat it as like a side hobby. And these investors typically are using their own money to buy the deal, so they're not paying any private money cost, they're not paying hard money cost. And then a lot of times they'll be the one physically doing the work. They'll call their friends, their cousins, anybody else that they can convince to work for pizza and beer or whatever else, get them over to the property and help them get this property done. And that's why they're able to pay so much, because they're saving on labor costs, they're saving on money cost, which are two of the biggest costs that you're incurring when you are fix and flipping properties. And so these types of buyers, while they're not going to be a consistent regular buyer for you because of that exact strategy that they follow, but when you're able to sell deals to them, you're usually able to sell them for a lot more than any of those other buyers would, right? So, that's one of the best types of buyers you could find. And now for my absolute favorite, the buyer that's going to pay the most amount of money is going to be the retail buyers. And you might be thinking, well, why would they be buying from you at retail cost if they're an investor? Well, these are typically not investors. These buyers are agents' clients. So these are realtors' clients that they're looking to buy properties either for them to live in, maybe a second home or something of that sort, that they're planning to buy a property. They were already looking on the MLS, the standard system that all realtors use to list their properties on, and they're looking on that source, but then their realtor sends them the deal that you sent to their realtor. And they might be able to buy your property for 90% of ARV or even more because they were already looking at properties that were at that top end value. So those are some really good opportunities for you to make the most amount of money per deal, is selling it to realtors that have a client that wants to buy the property to either live in or use as a second home or something of that sort. And so how do you find those individuals? Well, it's about networking with realtors. And so as you can see from start to finish, there's those types of buyers that are not going to pay as much per deal, that are going to be buying more of your deals. And then there's going to be some of those one-off buyers that are going to pay the most amount of money, more than anybody else ever would, but they're going to be more one-off type of buyers. And so, those are kind of the different buyers that we have within our company's buyers list, are a mix of those and realtors and, different people that are going to buy from us. And, we can have ease of sale, or, sometimes we'll get, a bigger assignment fee based on who that individual buyer is. So with that, guys, if you have any questions about, buyers or how to find them, or have any questions, related to anything from this video, make sure to put those in the comments below. And as always, if you got any value from this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video.